Welcome to therapy,
Welcome to therapy with Adrienne and Amy.
where everyone is the asshole, which is a
Everyone,
recurring theme. I believe it stands up
I think so.
completely
Everyone is.
100%. I do
Every,
disagree now with me being incredibly anxious. I'm done with that.
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. As it turns out, I too am anxious.
Giving all of it back.
Yeah, let's give it back.
We've been talking about this theme. Don't you love? It is really, this is the theme of my life.
There is no pep.
But you know that it's Charlie. He's making all the connections.
I couldn't recognize him. That's one of my man. I got to do a rewatch of. I gotta get back into that.
You know, there's a new season and I haven't even seen it.
We should watch that. We should watch that together.
Well, then now there's Southpark.
Oh my god, we have to talk about that too.
Yes.
Okay, so Adrienne, my therapist, I was telling you, told me I was a big. So this is how it started. I get into therapy, and I love my therapist. I get into therapy, and she was asking me how I was doing about like this thing that we had talked about in our prior session. I was saying that, I'd had a lot of anxiety about it. I was struggling with it. And we got on this therapy session and she was like, so how's everything going? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm just thinking about all those people who got swept away in that flash flood in Texas. And she was like, Amy, you're a big feeler. You're a really big feeler. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not. Because which Adrienne earlier was like, what do you mean you don't know that you're a big feeler, Amy? Do you want to?
I'd say that would be if someone had to describe you with a limited amount of work. Big feels, maybe, feelings, feeler, it might be in there. And like, I almost think, are you going like man spear? Because you're taking it as like a negative, like it's toxic,
Well,
like
that's
I'm not a feeler. Like that
Well, I
means
think
to me you have feelings. You feel for other people. You can get
and I think that's
into it.
that's sort of part of like this whole revelation that I've been having with it is looking at my own reaction to it. And I think it's because like I was sort of kind of picked on, not like bullied. I wouldn't say so much as bullied, but like in the family for being sensitive and for having feelings and big feelings. So, and my dad was too. Like in front of me by other family
So the
members.
guy said you should have partnered with?
Yeah, exactly. My dad, my wonderful, sweet dad. And I really respect him and appreciate those things about him. But I've always felt like that's not something that you want to be. And I realized it in that moment. But then I was like, big feeler, what are you talking about? Like, what I just say? She was like, you're the only person this week that I've had in session that have said anything about those floods at all. Like, you're the first person that has brought it up. And I was like, what do you mean I'm the first person that's brought it up? Like, it's the most horrible thing that's that's happening right now. And she was like, not everybody does that, Amy. Not everybody looks around.
I was thinking, I wonder if a lot of therapists like get their news from the patients. I mean, I was completely normal.
Maybe. She seemed to know.
So maybe to say you're sad, like how much you didn't like ask her how much she knew, right? Like you were just relating it to your
she was saying
feelings.
she was saying that she was calling me a big feeler because she was reflecting on how I was the only one that week that had mentioned it to her.
See, I don't even agree with I don't know if that's a great judgment, but oh my God, I see this connection now. And I think I kind of shat on you for saying like feeling is bad, but I have been in my Myers-Briggs days been like,
aren't you a T?
I wonder if an INTJ. Could I be
You're
a T?
an INFJ.
And like, no, I'm a feeler too.
But
it's almost like thinkers we think get more respect if you come from that logical level. But I'm going to jump further and know that if you grew up surrounded by people who could not deal with complex feelings, it's easy to tell those people that do that they're too much or too emotional.
Right. And like, why does everything affect you? Like you can't handle things because everything, like I've been told that like people in the family have gone behind my back and been like, well, don't tell Amy because she can't handle it. She just can't handle something like this, which is, by the way, number one, completely ridiculous. I've handled things they can't even fucking imagine. But also like, just because somebody feels something So I've come back around on feeling because I actually, when she said, and maybe that's not the best, you don't think it's a good example, but when she was like, when my therapist was like, to me, that says to me that you are a tremendously big feeler. She was like, this is not the only thing that we've talked about that makes me know that you're a big feeler. But the
Not
fact
because
that,
I don't know about
but
that
her,
argument, but it's very
well, but her
easy
thing is
to
more like
see to
everything
me.
is like it impacts you, is kind of what she was saying. Like you are feeling everything. Like you
Did
are
you
feeling.
feel a little bit attacked by that? Like your
No, I
safe
did.
space was
Well, I
calling
felt
you out?
well, first of all, I love her for calling me out. So I'm really I mean, that's part of the reason I'm going to therapy is I
Well,
want
of
somebody
course, but
that
it would
can
hit
call
a
me out.
nerve.
Yeah. No, it doesn't feel good to be called out, but I mean, not, it feels uncomfortable, but it's like the good kind of discomfort. You know what I mean? The kind of
Yeah.
discomfort that means like, oh
That you
shit,
can deal with.
I'm growing. Exactly. With that
What they meant was, don't tell Amy we cannot handle her
her
reaction.
reaction. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. And this, then I'll stop on this conversation because I've been talking a lot. But this, what you're saying, is a perfect segue to sort of the epiphany that this gave me. And she gave it to me because we were talking about me being a big feeler, and I was like, yeah, sometimes like I feel like I'm running around trying to make sure everybody's okay, the people pleasing we've talked about, and I called it like an air traffic controller for everybody's emotions. Like,
Love that.
are they okay? But then they're coming in and saying this, and they're gonna feel like
You
this.
do
And
that at parties.
I do, I
Or
do.
in like not a but
In
I'm
group
just
settings,
you
I
can
do.
tell people that care about like
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, this person hasn't, nobody's talking to them. Like, oh my gosh, I think that could have. And I told my therapist, I was like, I do that all the time. And sometimes with people in my family, I get resentful that they're not doing it, that they're not thinking about my feelings, that they're not doing it for me. And she goes,
What
well,
did she
Amy,
say?
well, Amy. And then I knew it was going to be, I knew it was going to be something when she said that. Well, Amy, it doesn't sound like anybody asked you to do that for them, right? And I was like, well, no, nobody asked me to do that. And she was like, you don't have to do that for them. That's something you're taking on. And then she goes, this resentfulness is on you. Like they're not required to do that. But this
But
was
how
me.
did you get that way? How did you think you
Well, but
needed to
honestly,
do that?
my thing was I can let go. I can release.
Okay.
I can release not only like it makes me look at it in a different way because I'm like,
Something
I
you have
won't
control over.
I won't be able to release as easily my need to do that because it comes from like my entire life. But when someone's not doing it for me, I'm at least, it helps me on both sides. It's going to help me pull back from that a little bit because I'm like, nobody asked me to do this. They're adults. It's not my job. And then also, when someone is not doing it for me, it's sort of like when you were saying something earlier, but it's about like, I can't, if I feel resentful for something that I'm requiring myself to do that I don't even like doing, that this person isn't, they're not me. This person isn't me. So them not doing it for me doesn't mean the same thing as if I weren't doing it for them. I'm having to unteach myself because that's how I show people I care about them and that's how I express my love. So to
Right.
me, when somebody doesn't
Love
do it
language.
for me, I feel like they're saying they don't love me or they don't care about me. But that's not true. And
True.
so that's why it was helpful for me is that I could be like, shit, like when people don't seem to be thinking, wait a minute, is this going to hurt Amy's feelings? It's not because they don't care about me. It's because they're like, that's not my job. And that makes me feel better. Even though when I say it like that, I don't know.
No, well, also, and it shows you can do that too.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
No, exactly. That I don't have to worry about, oh, weird. That experience just now that I saw between my sister-in-law and my mom, like, oh my God, I'm
You
going to
don't
have
have
to
to solve
do
it.
better. Like, I'm going to have to, that's right. That's right.
So, and that's what, and you kept asking me what happened at the end of that conversation I was
Oh, yeah,
having.
yeah.
But my main thing was I am not going to allow myself the emotional labor of assuming there's this tension
Yeah.
that's created
Yeah.
that like I'm going to be the stereotypical oblivious blonde.
Yeah.
And unless you want to talk to me like an
That's right.
adult about it, then
That's
I'm
right.
going to assume everything's great
That's right.
because I can't be playing these psychological,
God.
you know,
And
of like
honestly,
assuming.
it sounds like, I know I'm not It's not going to be because I know for a fact that you've been working on, all of these things for a while now. I know it's not going to happen for me like immediately, but I'm looking forward to, because, like getting in fights with my mom, for example, like I don't like doing it. It's horrible. It makes me feel terrible. I can't stop thinking about it all day. Upsetting my mom is like never
The
ever something that I
worst.
want to do. But like, for me, part of why I feel shame about it later is that I meet the energy. I always meet the energy. And then I end up saying something that I don't really mean, or saying it in a tone that I don't really mean. And so I'm looking forward to the times when I can get off calls like that. And I don't feel anything I
You know.
was, because I was like, listen, like, I love you. I feel like I don't know. I'm going to have to practice it. Maybe we can do
It
some.
does. Okay. It is the best unlayering, unpeeling, and worst of your life to realize these things. But I always tell this to myself, like, today I think I know everything, or like have learned so much. But I know for a fact 6 months ago, I said the
Yeah.
same thing in
Yeah.
months, and I keep like just learning.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense, and it gives me more confidence to know, like, I know that I'm built to, if something's off,
Hmm.
it's my fault
Yeah.
with anything. But to instead go, no, I like actually really fucking trust my gut and
Yeah.
intuition, and it's
Right.
been right my entire life, but squashed and questioned and gaslit. So
Trust your
I
gut.
think about the way
That must
things
feel
make
amazing.
me feel.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Another thing about that I think which is such a gift. It's like the trusting your gut thing, which I think is so, like, I feel that on such like a soul level. And then the next thing
Intuitive
is,
should. We have
yeah,
to.
right.
We're
I don't never trust
special.
myself. I never trust myself, but that's something that, I want to work on. But then the second part is something that I've really liked too, is being wrong and realizing that the world doesn't end. And instead, you can learn something. That to me might be like the biggest exhale ever, because like being raised to be a perfectionist, to be absolutely perfect and never do anything wrong, to me, it was like my number one fear was failing. I know that sounds so fucking whack, blah, 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 but
No,
that is what's true. And when I've been able to like have a difficult conversation, admit that I was wrong, take feedback and move on, it feels incredible. It is like the most, it's like sex almost, because it's such a release, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to be like so like all the time, like so terrified that I'm going to be wrong about something or make a mistake, because I am. And actually making a mistake isn't the big scary terrible thing that I
no.
was always made to believe that it was. And like somehow it said something innate about my character that I had made a mistake,
That's
like a moral
image
thing.
based, just
And
like,
it's always image based, yeah.
and
So
I could go into
therapy is
where that probably came from. What?
therapy is key, everyone.
Feel like, okay, so Jubilee, that's how I felt when
Let's talk about
I
Jubilee.
first saw
Quite
that
frankly,
Jubilee was a thing. So I learned Medhi was like on it when I learned it was a thing, and immediately got so excited, like, God, I wish that this was a thing. Or like
mhm,
I had regret that I'm just coming to terms with, like, I would have loved to be like a debater or something like
you have been a
that,
great
but I
debater.
grew up like slapped down for questioning. Already mastered that.
You could be I'm sorry.
Did
Yeah,
you, I mean,
you
did
would have
you
been a
grow
great
up
debater.
like not well, you were the same like political, you wouldn't have like debated with your parents in high school, but like I
I
never
wasn't
could
speaker.
have that
I chatted.
converging thought.
I mean, talked. Like I would pontificate. But I get what you're saying. You didn't have like,
I'm trying to think of what I would have, because I probably wouldn't have wanted to debate. And I really didn't have strong political feelings in high
right.
school. Admittedly, I think I was like, I'm a Republican.
Yeah, I don't even
Because my parents were Republican. I
right.
mean, thank God I
It's
couldn't
crazy
actually
to think though.
register to vote.
Can we pause
What's
and
that?
just say it's like it's crazy to think that the teenagers, like my friend Jenna, who I do the other podcast with, who, well, actually, she wasn't
Shout
that
out.
different from her parents. I think her parents were more moderate. Her mom definitely was, but like to have like super different views from your parents when you're that age, it feels kind of like that's a really incredible person that could do that. Do you know what I mean?
She did?
Well, I thought she did, but now that I'm thinking about it, her mom was at least like pretty liberal. But like I know that there are some people out there, but
I would say, I mean, and no shame to the kids, but I would say that's good parenting. Allowing your children to foster different ideologies, values,
encouraging
and
critical
thoughts.
thought.
Yes,
Encouraging critical thought. Well, but
that
the
would
other
be an
thing is,
honor. I mean,
I
and
agree.
also a
Well,
disappointment.
even though if it were to happen, they would be a little fascist probably. So that wouldn't be like an honor.
Now, yeah, I guess it could go wrong. But okay, so what do we? You just
Well,
wouldn't
but
be
the other
proud.
thing is that
Okay.
education in the United States doesn't do anything for this. Like, so your parents are essentially where you learn all of that, because elementary, middle, and high school in the United States, public schools, and I'm assuming maybe even more so private schools, you're not taught to think about things on your own. You're taught to open your mouth, open your head, close your mouth, and receive information, memorize it, and spit it back out.
Don't you dare question it.
And don't you dare, god dang. And that's
And
the
that
truth.
was my problem generally as a child. Going into adulthood, I mean, looking back, it is funny. I was like a nightmare at Catholic school questioning, like,
That's amazing.
listen. I remember asking my mom, like, it builds a ship and fits two of every,
That's so
when I was 4.
That's so cute.
Told the kindergarten class there was no Easter Bunny or Santa Claus because it didn't make
God,
logical sense.
I love you.
But that's being a questioner in a family that like doesn't, it's
in a
traditional,
culture,
doesn't question the system.
a family and a wider culture.
I share it.
Well, because I think one time, like if there's something like that, we should just watch it together and do real time commentary on it. Pause it and like just like, oh wait, pause it. Unpause it. Sorry, that was okay. Jubilee.
Debating. Oh yeah, I said I originally thought I was so excited because I was like, I would love to do this, but now I feel like the time is gone. Truth is dead. There is no debating facts, which was laid out by those 20 fucking people that they were like, we just don't care about.
I mean,
we're not debating your facts. We just don't care about your rules or your constitution. We're just
and that's another thing that's part of it too, is that the reality, like truth is dead, but also so is the art of oratory. You know what I mean? There's no like you read these like ancient texts about like, how people would be praised for their ability to, be an orator, get up and speak and do. And see, that's something that I feel like I could have done back in the olden days, except for that I'm a woman and they wouldn't let me. But like,
they would have burned you though and let you do a little monologue right there as they burned you on the stake.
Anybody listening to this will be like, there's no way that you could have done that, Amy. But I wouldn't have been smoking weed, okay, everyone. But like that's dead because
and you would have, and it would have been great.
I love you. But like it was like, it's not even as if any of those people were, maybe one was an okay arguer, but that was it. The other people, it's like, so truth is dead and the art of debate is also dead.
Yes. And they use so many like psychological defense mechanisms that were so the guy that was like, let's tone it down. And he's like, tone
and
down
also
what?
The toning it down thing. Well, there were those kind of guys, and then there were the guys that were like,
well, right. It wasn't a good debate.
No, they were using using logical fallacies. They were saying things like they were doing whataboutism, right? They were doing ad hominem attacks. They were doing like anything in the book of like how you actually form a logical argument and make a good sound argument was out the door. They were doing all logical fallacies like fucking straw man, all that kind of shit that if you do even a basic class in that stuff, are bad tactics that are not good tactics. So honestly, they're all shills anyway.
I had a sick feeling like throughout and I couldn't like pinpoint it. I mean, besides
They were
the obvious, but
disgusting.
like there was something else. And I think I have my boogeyman of like these people that think this way is like boomers and
Yeah,
just like much older people.
me too.
And I'm like, they'll die off, whatever. And
No.
that sick feeling was all of these people are younger than me.
Yeah. And in fact, like all the boomers in my life, not all the boomers in my life, but like the boomers would never say any of the things that were said in this debate. So it's even more extreme. Like
But
none of
did they not probably think it?
I mean, some people in my family, some of it, but not my definitely not my parents or my aunts and uncles wouldn't. Well, my parents would absolutely not. And my uncles and my aunt.
See, I was thinking about that too. Like, what do I prefer? Like, I honestly was like, I think I prefer
Getting it out in
the
the open.
ones that are owning it, that
Yeah.
are just like, yeah, I'm a fascist because now I know,
Can
and
we
they're
talk
not like
about
gaslighting me.
Can we talk about like not only the one that said that they were a fascist, but the one that was like get out to him. He was like, I'm a citizen. I'm an immigrant and I'm a citizen. And he was like, as soon as he said I'm an immigrant, he was like, get out. And that particular guy, first of all,
It's like
I'm
you
like,
knew that, dude.
well, but also like, bruh, like, how do you think you got here? How do you think like the people that how do you in them saying
How
like
about
genocide?
I'm a Native American?
Could not with a Native American. I could not. Like white people are Native American, and then he got a round of applause from all those crazy psychopaths in there. Like,
That was the worst.
well, I think that what I hope my mom wouldn't say she was Native. I don't think she would. She would be like, "This is my home because I was born here." But like they were
But they
acting.
wouldn't mind if someone else was saying it, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, and what
They
else
wouldn't
did they?
disagree.
The white
Or I'm
genocide. The
wondering if
white
that's like
genocide was also like I was like white genocide. Like these are white supremacists. And
they're
did you see
all manufactured
the guy
crises.
the one that was like, get out, you're, yeah, get out. You're an immigrant, get out. And he was like twitching all over with
Yeah.
either rage.
Medhi said he was scared.
You said Medhi said he was scared.
Yeah, he's done
He
like,
was scared that Medhi. I don't blame
yeah,
him. I
he
told
brought his
Eric.
own security.
Yes, I told Eric if I were him, I would be like, somebody has to walk me to my car
They
because
did, yeah. And
okay,
that was in California.
I don't blame him because some of those guys, I was like, I would not be surprised if they're waiting for him in the parking garage. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's some scary fucking shit.
It
Honestly,
is.
white dudes, young white men are the scariest motherfuckers ever to me.
And that is what's making up that I'm just glad I don't have any real association with them whatsoever. And honestly, I was thinking about this. I was like, if people like you weren't, so genuinely in love with like Eric or your spouse, like I would just be done with men. Like I don't really see any use
To be
to them.
honest, if this, whatever happens, however this ends, probably with its death eventually, not by my hand.
Of
But
course.
as soon as he's out of the picture, it's no men for me from the rest of my life.
I mean, like
Just wild.
even in the best relationships, it just seems like a lot of work
It is a lot of work.
managing them and then letting them take all the credit.
Oh my god, dude. But the other thing is like you think like I think through our generation, I think millennials, guys are like have had made a lot of strides in a lot of ways.
That's
It
sad.
feels it feels like Gen Z, it's like because so many of them are into this like fucking weird alpha male trad wife, like going back to like ancient gender roles when real I
Start.
have a I guess they're not ancient, but they're archaic. I have a theory about this though, partially. Because for women at least, I feel like when we were coming up, it was all like girl boss, that was like what feminism was. When really what that really was like white
Go to work.
supremacist feminism that was a tool of capitalism. So it's like just try to get more, just try to get more, just try to get more.
Did
And
just learn this.
well, and then
Yes.
women are like, I actually don't want a girl boss. Like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to work 80 hours a week and have this big job and not be able to have a life. Like, so instead of like, so there's been this vacuum, and I think some of it's been filled by, I want to just like stay at home and bake stuff and do art and be with the kids. And,
It's the extreme.
yeah,
Okay, and I have a spoiler alert.
spoil it. Spoil me. Spoil me.
Everything is a lie and, like, not what it seems. And I'll explain. Like, the American dream, obviously, you know, like college, you go to college, you'll get a job. All of that is a lie, and everything is controlled by the elites.
It is.
Everything from the feminine, like, I didn't realize, I mean, like, even fucking immigration
Everything.
is not about immigration, it's about labor
It's
control.
about the bottom line, baby.
And if you're going, "No, that's bullshit," there's no problem with immigration, and we need them, and they're cheap
Yeah,
labor, but
right.
yet they're CEOs and want them deported. But what does it do? It scares them all into not unionizing
Right. Well,
or saying, you know, like, "We need more money or better working conditions." So this is like a continual thing that they have done. How did they get it done? They use the culture wars, baby.
yeah. Well,
So
and
the
I'm like,
elites.
well, we'll see what happens though when with all these people getting deported, self-deporting. Like, I mean, our economy, how's it gonna? How is it like? Are these farmers gonna pay
I
white?
think I think they'll still let people in, and, they'll fill them. I mean, it's just like how if something is hurting someone for taco, like, he just stops the tariffs or whatever. So, they'll let people in. They'll be able to bend the rules for thee, but not for me, and they'll get that cheap labor, but in addition to that, it's gonna be cheap, scared, thankful labor that says
Yeah,
nothing, does
absolutely,
nothing.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's
And doesn't
already
push back. They're scared of the worker. It is the worker versus the top. That's all it is. There's no
well,
left or
that's
right.
right. And the
Everything
thing
in the middle is
is,
manufactured.
and the truth is, the worker has the power when the worker is able to, like you're saying, like organize, get together. But the problem is that's what all of this is trying to keep. I think you're right. It's like trying to keep stay rich is essentially
Here's the perfect, this is when I've started seeing the pattern in, like, today's world about, in today's story, the Epstein story, which
man.
literally is a manufactured like, it's whatever. Of course he's on the fucking list. Like,
Like
what?
we all know it. We all
If
know
there's
it.
a if there's not, if there's a list, like, whatever. But
Right.
okay,
His
so
name's in the files. He did the shit. We know he did.
he is, like, the most logically probably the
Exactly.
person
He's the least surprising. He's the least surprising person that's on the list. And guess what? These women have been telling us
yes,
that
more
Trump is
importantly.
involved.
More
And
importantly.
people are just like over here wanting to see it in writing because can't.
But
Guess what?
it's
These people have been.
the fever is because it's a conspiracy, and they need to keep it going because the conspiracy is that it's the Democrats.
Oh my god.
Like, so this can never come to fruition. But you have Murdoch over here running the Wall Street Journal that is publishing the truth about actual things that are hurting Trump,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? The expose of the birthday letter, they're digging after him so much so that he's suing.
Right.
Murdoch also owns Fox News, who is doing what? Defending him day in and day out. So why do you have a billionaire of this elite class doing opposing fucking things that do this? All they're doing is sowing discourse. And I think they're done with Trump.
Oh,
He's too
well,
chaotic. And so they want him out. They got their tax cut. That's the
right.
most monumental thing that,
Huh,
I
that's
mean, we're done. Like, it's solidified.
I
This
mean,
puppet show.
yeah, like it's the same people have been it's just so I feel like there are so many layers to all of this, but
So
also
many layers.
there's different levers, right? Because you have like the actual controlled manipulation of like really rich people doing things like, paying off the president to merge with enough to be able to get the merger that you want for your company done and canceling a TV show that he doesn't like in order for his administration to say you can merge. This is a corrupt, like, how is that? How does everybody
Yes.
like
Yeah.
the president shouldn't be able to actively sue for civil damages when he is sitting as the president of the United States. That is a clear conflict of interest because he's
That's, I
able
mean,
to leverage his power to get people to do so. First of all, there is this sort of like blatant in our faces offensive because they think that we're all fucking idiots shit that's happening. There's also the behind the scenes stuff that's been happening for decades and maybe centuries, I guess, because of colonization, blah, blah, blah. And there's also this that what they've created in the culture of like, so for example, I don't think that there were like people in a back room saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to twist feminism into girl boss feminism. And we're going to
I
go on.
do.
I mean, if they did, I would be like, wow, slow clap, because they did it. But I think that when you create a culture that's so toxic and has such twisted incentives, because you have to brainwash the people in there, right? Or else they're going to be like, this sucks. Like, all I do is work every day until I die. Like, why the fuck would I want to do that?
They don't want you to wake up and realize that. Got to keep you exhausted
Exactly.
and angry at the wrong people.
And buying and just buying.
Yes.
And that's what
Yes.
makes you happy, is that you're consuming. And what that also does is it splits you off from other people in your community, because you're not relying on each other anymore, supporting each other anymore. You are an individual cog in your little
Yep.
thing, in your tube, and you're
And
just
that's what
buying.
they want you to be.
Exactly. Exactly.
And do you know that like this
I
elite,
hate it here.
I hate it here.
I fucking hate it here, dude.
I hate it.
What
But
the fuck?
this is only like, and this is loose research, but like 25 to 35,000 people. Like, and I
Ay,
think, so I'm
Dios.
talking about like BlackRock, like Murdoch, the people that
Oh, yeah.
control the
No,
media,
for sure.
but we don't have, they've packaged like the Republicans and the Democrats so well, you know your enemy, right?
All
But
right.
like, even I get so distracted
Yeah.
that I'm not looking at the bigger picture because they're like so
Yeah.
far at the top and they're not, they just pay their minions.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like,
It's like bread and circuses, right? They're like,
yeah,
here, entertain yourselves. Don't look, nothing to see here. Don't look behind the curtain, kind of shit, right? But the problem is, like, for them is that shit's gotten so bad for so many people now that they're not going to be able to ignore it much longer. And instead of, I think that what maybe Trump will be, I don't know. I think this is
I
kind
think
of,
you underestimate how little they fucking care
I
and
really, I
how
really
truth
don't
is
think
dead.
it's well, but it's one thing to say truth is dead, which is I agree with, but
Well, I'm
it's
just
another.
saying they're going to be able to spin this like,
Well, what is yeah,
I
I mean,
used to think, well, at least they're going to suffer in the midterms after that big
well,
bill.
I hate the Democratic Party,
They won't
I don't even care about that anymore, because
agree.
I think that
Agreed.
I was telling Eric this is how I see the political spectrum of the United States right now, is like, or at least it's like far left, like socialist. It's more like anarchists
That's
are maybe out here, but
progressive.
I think
Anarchist.
I'm
Anarchist
like
is the farthest. Yeah.
well, it's more like neutral though, because it's sort of in between left and right. But I'm like a very lefty,
Yeah.
right?
I'm a
And then
democratic
it's like
socialist.
workers. It's like, yeah, like worker party kind of stuff. And then it's like progressives, and then I think it's liberals, and then I think like the Democratic and Republican parties, and or the Democrats and the Republicans, not the MAGAs, not Trump, but the Democrats and the Republicans to me are the corporate party. They're like the same party, and it's the corporate party. It's like owned by big interests. It's like the power, like the oligarchy kind of bullshit. And then you have like
But there's democratic
the
people
MAGA.
that are owned by the elite too. That's why you have
Well, that's why I'm saying I
billionaires.
think that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are the same, and it's a
Yes,
corporate party. It's the
I
billionaire.
agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
I don't think
But
the
the
Democratic Party.
your values differentiate yourself. Like
That's the only difference. That's the only difference to me.
I used to, as in like a few months ago, I think maybe before Trump won, was like the Republicans need to blow up their party and start anew and like refresh, and they need to rebrand, whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck them. The
I don't ever
Democrats
want to be.
need to do that right now. This
Yeah,
is the only time. We
yeah.
can't do anything else right now. Like, I just think all these efforts are kind of fucking
Can
futile.
we?
They're rigging the election in Texas already.
Fucked up.
So, like, why not? We need to go big, blow it up,
Yeah,
and
I
go,
agree.
we are restarting and welcome with big arms. Like,
Yeah.
it's the sanity, Democrats.
Well, can we talk about Can we talk about I'm only laughing because it's so and everybody's already made fun of this, but they're making fun of it because it's fucking hilarious. When Chuck Schumer got the name of the big beautiful bill like changed and acted like he had like fucking done something. Like it
I didn't
passed.
even know he did that, and I follow everything.
He it was like I'm doing I don't know if it actually I don't think it like ended up passing in the name that Chuck Schumer did, but he was like so proud of this resolution that was like and people are like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Who gives a shit? You can call it fucking apple pie. It's
Yeah.
gonna do the same shit. We don't care what it's called, you dumb fuck."
And
I
also
swear to
you can
God.
call it anything, like,
Right.
on Twitter or
And it's totally stupid. And then the fact that they're not backing Zoran Mamdani in New York City just goes to show you that they don't give a shit about people. They don't give a shit about policies that help the people that are their constituents. They care about keeping rich people rich because they are rich people.
how
And I
much do
should
you
say
think
though,
AIPAC is just controlling that
a lot.
election?
I mean, I don't know that they're controlling the election, but I think that the amount of money that they spend on the election is a some yeah, so maybe I don't know. I think there's a lot of powers that be that are involved in that, but I definitely think APAC is one of them based on whatever is going
Well,
on. I need to read up on that a little bit more, but
I yeah,
what
maybe
do you
we
think?
don't punish bad Democrats enough, but, like, get them out. I
Yeah,
wanna,
I mean,
like
Republicans, like, if you're not in line with whatever, then you're out of there, man. They eat their young, dude.
but yeah, I guess that's why maybe we don't wanna be, but that's like that cult
Yeah,
mentality.
but I think this two-party system is fucked. It's trash. I want like multiple parties. I want ranked voting. I want, you know, indigenous control of the land. I want reparations for black people. I want a lot of things.
Let's create our own
Let's do it.
country. Where are we
Let's
gonna get land?
okay, so what I've heard is that with climate the climate crisis where it is, I'm laughing again because like what the
Is
fuck?
this
Our
me?
world is destroyed.
Did me tell
You
you
told
this?
me this.
Yes. Don't tell the folks. But yes, no, but I love
Good.
that.
I'm glad that you stopped me because you were like, "No, Amy, that's our secret sauce. Don't tell anybody that." I
But
love
you've
that
been
I was about
saying,
to tell you what you told me.
which I don't need to know. I already know. If you know, you know. But you've been saying for
You know?
years, like, we need, I keep calling it like an enclave, but like
Enclave.
a
It's like
little village or village. And I think me like being so conditioned into this hellscape capitalist society was like rolled my eyes at something like that, almost like maybe an impossibility or whatever. Now not only am I like so excited about that, but I'm like, that's actually what's like going to
that might be the
happen to
only way that we
people.
survive. Oh my god, dude.
Because it is, there's going to be so many climate migrants,
Yeah.
and people already hate them anyway. Like, imagine, oh, do you think we're gonna be doing better at this stuff in, a decade or two? Like, or worse. So it's
Dude,
just gonna get real raw. And like, I'm gonna
but
fucking thrive.
have you heard about this group that's already doing this?
Thriving?
Except for it's all white. Whites only. Whites.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like, what the fuck? I
I
hate being a part of something that's like it's not like it just happens to be only white people. It is whites only. I'm like, and I've seen some interviews with them,
oh
and
yeah.
people are like, first of all, I want to jerk a knot in some of these reporters' tails these days because I'm like, why aren't you asking the obvious questions? Like they'll be like, so ask them all this
I don't
stuff.
think you should
How
ask
do
them
you
fucking anything.
well, my thing is if you're out there, because this is what they said. So, is the whites only thing like an important thing to you? And they'll let them skirt around the issue. I would be like, why is it whites only? Why do you have a whites only limitation?
I didn't
Period.
even know we needed that explanation. Like, I thought it was obvious, but
Yes, but I want to hear them. Like, what did they? How are they? How are they making this okay? How is it okay for them?
did
Because a
they
lot of
not just say, like, we
no,
don't? I
they're not,
heard one of the girls say, or women, I couldn't tell, but she was like, they have their own place. And you're just like, what?
talking about.
Who is they and where?
And where is this place?
And do they do this?
Okay, I hate to say this. She was probably homeschooled by some dude that runs a
Yeah.
fucking militia. And she really thinks that probably there's some place in most of the United States is probably just all black people.
That's true. But this is allowed. I loved it. The one thing I saw was like, and they're looking into the legality of this. I'm like, I do hope so. But I mean, I that sort of thing is depressing to me because they're not gonna this is how they feel. It's
Yeah.
not why do you debate with them? Why do you talk to them? Like, they're not gonna change. I don't know. I'm just at the point. I don't think people
Well, but they shouldn't be allowed to do that. I want to just go
well, they
there
shouldn't
and
be allowed to do it. They
I'm gonna
shouldn't
go
be.
face down. Even though I've seen a lot of funny reactions from like Black creators that are like, have it. I'm not. Why am I? I'm not trying to go there. But I think though that
It could
principle
spur
is
up
dangerous.
more.
That's right. I
Yes.
think that
That's the point.
letting it exist is too dangerous.
Okay, this is something I have been struggling with, like, watching the Jubilee,
Mm.
and
Bring it back.
when he was like, "Oh, I don't debate fascists,"
Yeah.
like, and he stopped talking, I was like, "Yeah, I feel that." I would be like, I don't like you, like, I kinda almost feel like I don't want you here. So am
Yeah.
I the same? Kinda want an enclave of just like-minded people too.
Mhm. I see your point.
But they can be any fucking color or from anywhere or think any way.
I just can't be a cis man, a cis heterosexual man.
In as long
No, that was my addition. I don't know that I want to.
as a minute they follow the rules, but then are they like,
But they have a
"That's
curfew.
woke."
They have a curfew.
I hate that woke was really just destroyed when
So,
it
okay,
just
so
means
before
being a
because
decent person.
I wanna segue that into
South Park,
yes.
that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
That is probably not everybody's, but I love because I pound on this, like, that it's all manufactured. It's
Yeah.
all manufactured, like, he didn't have something to hate, so he didn't know what to fucking do, so he wanted to kill him in an electric
Okay.
car.
Okay, I'm not gonna okay, when me and Eric so this is something that I wanna watch with you and, like, actually real-time breakdown on this podcast. This is what I'm talking about.
Did you not get that connection?
What do you mean?
Or about what do you mean?
What do you mean?
I thought you were like, "Oh, I didn't understand that's what it was about, so this is why we need to watch it together."
I was thinking the Jubilee video is what I wanted to watch together.
I wanna watch it all together.
Same
I was
here.
just talking about South Park, though.
I don't know, I think I missed your I think I missed your
You
South
missed my South Park?
So when we were sitting down to watch it, everybody had already seen it. And so we avoided everything on social media other than like spoilers, but saw that
That's
like
hard.
I was like, is this unpack? I was like closing my eyes, but it was like everyone was talking about it. So I knew it was something was going on. Do you know what I mean? When everyone is talking about something, at least something is going on. So we but me and Eric were like, both of us were like, I'm a little worried that it's gonna be disappointing because we are kind of like so revved up to see it because we know everybody else has seen it. So we're kind of worried about maybe a letdown. And we start watching it. And the first thing that Cartman does is turn on the NPR radio station. And Eric was like, Cartman would not really, I'm realizing now he's such a fucking negative Nancy. And he was like, Cartman would never listen to NPR.
Yeah, you
And
would
then
hate listen to it.
almost immediately he was like, hey, mom. And when he starts describing why he listened to it, we fucking lost it. And I think
And she died, and it was so funny.
I was like, they perfectly did this.
Yes.
It was perfectly done because it was such a good setup for everything else. It's the only believable way that Cartman would respond in that situation, that he would be. And can we talk about how he was like, I'm gonna kill myself, Butters, and you.
And I'm gonna take you with me.
Yeah, it's so funny. And so, but also like flipping PC principle
Oh,
was another
perfect.
stroke.
Genius.
And the way that, of course, I mean, talking about like how they portrayed Donald Trump, like, give me a break. It was so good and so hilarious.
I love how much they thought about it, and if you're a fan, like, I mean, I had to kind of watch the behind the scenes, but to know all the callbacks is
But
just
there were so many, because they're
it's like
comparing.
things like that are built for my life to like just like a
Yeah,
little whisper of like, we understand you.
they're fucking. I think that they are comedic geniuses. Like, but
Absolutely.
they met my expectations and exceeded them. Like, they don't give a fuck. Oh, and like bringing Jesus into it and making Jesus like they're like holding Jesus captive. You know what I mean? Is
Shut-
man, like just eat the bread, eat my eat my flesh, eat my just
eat the bread, eat the bread, eat the bread, just eat the
like
bread. But
it's
their
genius.
episode, like I've never seen, and we probably won't in our lifetime,
Yeah.
take a second to appreciate something so genius on screen layers pulling back from throwbacks, and also the most amazing maneuvering off screen.
Oh, in terms of like how quickly they put together like their
Oh,
we're
there's
talking about with the
yeah,
Paramount.
they made themselves like
The
bulletproof.
timing was oh my that you're right. That's probably the most genius thing about it is that they
Comedic
got
genius.
1.5 billion streaming deal from Paramount Plus. They
Can't get out of. They could cancel, but they have to pay them.
It's locked in. They drop this episode that is explicitly calling them out.
Target on their back.
Calling them out, and then the merger goes through. Like,
Boom.
you know, incredible. Like, you're right. Gene.
Like, I would
That needs an Emmy. That needs a Golden Globe.
I was gonna say the Nobel Peace Prize, like, needs to be a category.
Or
for
at least
for me.
The Nobel Troll Prize.
I mean, or just not even troll. Well, I guess the comedic genius.
But of elevating troll to an art form. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, it was playing a trolls game and leaving him and everyone else under the bridge, like just laughing along the way. And then his response, "We're deeply sorry," or whatever he said.
And the White House's response, it was so good because it's like
they don't understand.
Well, it's internally incoherent. They say this show hasn't even been relevant in 20 years. The White House is officially commenting on it. If it's not relevant, why is the White House commenting on it? So first of all, you played yourself. You played right into their trap. I'm waiting for him to sue them because I think he can't help himself. And then I think the circle will be complete. I'm like, dude,
he has. He already has.
He already did. I
think that was just a joke about how Satan sued him.
Oh, right. Can you? But as soon as he does, because I don't think I don't think he can help himself. I honestly think that his staff has kept the actual episode away from him. And they're like, just don't even watch it. Because I think he would not, I think he would order their arrest or something, or their like assassination or something, because I think he's so emotionally unstable and dysregulated. So I think that they're like, nope, just don't even look at it. It's not that. It's, but
because this is like a bomb. I mean,
the AI video of him,
thought that when I first heard about it, I thought it was like, oh, something they like released on the side after the episode, not like actually within. I mean, they're billionaire. I mean, they know.
No, let's say it. What is it? How do we say strength that doesn't refer to the testicles in a way that's like a synecdoche? Like it's like a symbol for. People have heard say labes or ovaries, but I don't really
know
that. I don't really like that.
I guess just women.
Let's just think about
a woman.
Like you gotta like think of the whatever on that person, you know? Like
yeah, even I like the word cojones, but
I like that it means balls. Yeah. But like, what about like what is something that makes us really brave? I would say let's think about it. Let's put a pin in that.
How about being able to have
like walking at night alone?
I was gonna say discomforting conversations, uncomfortable conversations.
To me, that's basically like walking at night on my own.
Some people, these fears are equivalent, but they know he will sue them. But if he doesn't, what I've noticed about this malignant narcissist is that he holds on to these grudges. Like no one remembers. And then he's like,
Rosie O'Donnell. That is the perfect example of him resurrecting. Like, what?
Oh, he's got the hits back from the dead. I mean, it was kind of like a boom, boom, Rosie, Obama, Hillary. This bitch even got into criminal law, true crime. I was like keeping up to date on my Idaho case where tragically 4 students were murdered by a sociopath. And he comes in tweeting like, oh, they should make him say why he did it.
That Donald Trump said that?
Yes.
You're fucking kidding me.
I was like, and it was during the spaghetti on the wall Epstein files. Like,
He's
so
just
it was
just
obvious.
trying to distract, like,
It was so, yes, it was comical. I hate to say it, but I'm like over here focusing on my criminal trials for the week. We had 2 guilty pleas on murders.
damn.
Stephen Stearns out of Florida and Brian Cooper out of Idaho. And he comes in like trying to implore the judge to make him say something. I mean, it wasn't like criminal, but it was absolutely worthless. And it can't do anything but give the families hope. If they
Yeah,
think,
that's an
like, if they
ugly
don't know the law and think, oh, maybe he'll be
that's an ugly thing.
compelled to do that. And then it puts the judge in a bad position. And then I was thinking, this is so fucking stupid that
So
the Karen Reed case, where he could have legitimately got involved because the FBI was involved, he
Mhm.
could have with, you know, gone out to the DOJ and done something. But of course he didn't, because that's not self-serving and it wasn't Epstein spaghetti time. So I don't know, but just a worthless piece of shit.
He's insane. I love those guys at Southpark for
Yeah.
doing
Really
that. I think it's
level.
best. I think it might be the best episode ever, even though I don't know, that might feel like a lot, but I'm saying it in my
No,
opinion.
I think it's absolutely will go down. It has to, because the maneuvering around it too.
Maneuvering. I mean, it's just too brilliant. But because of this, I've like when I'm running or like putting up my laundry, I'm like rewatching some episodes of South Park, and I just like sort of did a like boop and spun and like landed on a
Very
season
fun.
started, and it was the episode. Are you a big South Park person? You might not.
I am, but I
Okay.
don't know all the episodes.
Okay, well then if you even better, because if you haven't watched this one, I highly recommend it because it is
Love it.
hysterical. It is the one where the gang like gets like weapons, like karate weapons from the like knife guy at the fair.
What do we learn about?
I think
What hypocrisy do we learn about in this episode?
well, it's really good because this is one of the episodes where they just say it at the end. Like they'll like one of the characters is just like, oh, I guess da 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 da, and it's like, mwah. And the whole
Chef's
episode is
kiss.
like
Okay.
very funny. And so hold on, let me see so I can just go ahead and tell you.
This is my classic. I feel like it represents my life, childhood. I was like not allowed to watch South Park.
Wait.
Of course, I mean that's pretty common. But then when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, this is like my inner voice that I
It's
feel
so
like
good.
has been hidden from me.
It's so good. Okay, this one is Good Times with Weapons, which is season 8, episode 1. The other thing that I really appreciate about South Park specifically, that I think you'll also appreciate being, I think, having a similar taste in comedy, is I think they have the perfect balance of like really sort of in your face, like explicit social commentary at times, and then like really stupid, silly shit that
Yeah.
is just totally like middle
Your
school
fart joke?
humor. Yeah, exactly. And so it brings it back down so that you don't have to like be up here like the whole time.
Yes.
It's such a good balance of being like, oh, here's this like da 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 da, and then yeah, somebody will fart like you're saying or something like that. And so, and sometimes their messaging is explicit, and sometimes they really, are just giving like,
And they can.
yeah,
I mean, they can be funny.
and sometimes they can just be funny.
That shows the level of craft.
Their craft.
Interweaved. I mean, I think my all-time favorite episode will still have to be the Easter Bunny episode, because that's like literally what I feel like I had that thought, a dream, like when I was in Catholic school, like this is what y'all are trying to convince me of. And then to see it so beautifully displayed of like the cult, I was hooked ever since.
Man, Yeah, I think the one that got me really hooked was the Imagination Land series of episodes. Oh, you gotta see that one. You gotta
See,
see
now I
that.
can go back, but I don't wanna get Paramount
Well,
again.
right now,
Paramount.
currently, they're still all on.
HBO.
Yes. So
Yes.
you can get your fix before. Well, people and people were saying to like get Paramount, but then
I've
cancel.
already had a free yeah. I
That's why I
gotta
have like a million Gmail accounts.